Hey guys, it's Kat and I'm back today for my 3-month update for my project pan. So this is the team project pan. So if you want to see the project's introduction, so what this is all about, I'll link the introduction video down below. But at the 3-month checkup, it's an exciting one because not only do you start seeing quite a lot of progress at 3 months, but this is the chance in the project that you can swap things out. So if you're not using something and you want to swap it to something else, this is the time to sort of refresh the project pan. Now, I don't want to do that with too many things because I sort of don't want to give up on them, but there are a few things that I'm just not using and I thought maybe I should swap them out. So normally I will start with the products that I've used up. I will tell you what products I'm replacing them with, and then I'll go through the products that I'm getting some decent progress on, and then the products that I'm not seeing any progress on. But if any of those products are being taken out, I will tell you at the time what I'm swapping them out for, because essentially this is a rolling full face project pan. So you pretty much want something from every category in your project pan, and once you take something out, you replace it with something else. Before I do start, in case you're wanting to know what's on my eyes, I don't know if I'll have it up yet, but I bought some single eyeshadows from Clearina Cosmetics, and just before this I decided to film a quick like get ready with me trying like as many colors as I can, and that's what's going on my eyes. So that will either already be up or it will be up in the next video. All right, so the first product that I have used up this time around is my Benefit Porefessional. This is the Pearl Primer. So I did weigh this, so I will do a final weight. So at last month check-in, this was 13.4 grams. It's now 10.78-ish grams. Now I did finish this up pretty quickly after my last check-in. So straight away I jumped into a brand new, it had been opened, but I hadn't really used it, the Porefessional Original. So for the past couple of weeks, I have been using this. I didn't weigh it when I first introduced it, but I'm gonna weigh it at this point and continue it on in the project. If it's anything like this, it's going to take me 3 months-ish to use. So this should take me to the next 3-month mark where I can refresh my project again. But that is the new product being introduced. One that I was determined to use up by this check-in, so I tried to use it as much as possible, was my Maybelline little lip crayon nude thing. I don't know what it's called. I used this a lot, and then it got to a point where I think it was earlier in the week, I sharpened it and the little part came out. So when you get to the very bottom, the lid actually like comes out, and that's what happens. That's completely empty. So that one was done. I didn't think I was going to. Probably about 2 weeks ago, I was like, this is not going to be done, and it's really shit of me not finishing up a lip product. So I sort of dedicated myself to using it, and it was my main nude lip pencil, so I used it up. And I'm actually going to include a Colourpop Lippie stick. I've got lots of these, and over the last couple of days since using this up, I've been trying a few of them, deciding which one to put in my project pan, and the one I decided to put in because it was the one that I was sort of most comfortable using on a daily basis because it's a really great nude is Hotline. So it's a matte X. It's on my lips now. It's sort of more of a brownie, I don't know, sort of orangey nude, and I really like these tones. So that's how much I have left to go. It's quite a lot, but these are quite thin. So I'm really curious to see how long this takes to use up, because like I said, I've got quite a few of them and I've had them for going on a year or longer now. So if I could start using some of them up, I'd be really happy to. And this one is just the safe color that I think can work with clearly any makeup look, which is great. So that's the one I'm introducing into the project. All right, this is a bit of an annoying one because it's really hard to see whether it's done or not, but it's my Marc Jacobs Remarkable Foundation. Now, you can see down there, I'll have to zoom in, you can see where it's sort of settled. So I've only got the smallest amount down the bottom to go, but the unfortunate thing is that the stick applicator doesn't actually reach down there. So the only way I can actively use all of this up is if I get a little like makeup spatula and dig it out. but I don't like this foundation enough to want to do that. So I'm considering this done. I'm going to show you where it's down to, but if you look at the line, it's probably down to about there. And I've made a lot of progress in the last month because I've been really wanting to get this out of my project pan before winter, because it is a little bit drying on the skin, and as my skin gets a bit drier, it's not going to like this foundation. So yeah, I started using this pretty much on its own, and like what I was doing prior to that was using it mixed with a BB cream, and days where I was wearing makeup but I wasn't really fussed about the longevity of it, I'll just use this. So probably a good, I don't know, 10 or so times this month I've used just this foundation, and it's really pushed it over the edge to almost using it up. But I'll zoom in so you can see the little mark that I'm referring to, if you can see it. So I'm not sure if you can see down there, but that's an indication that so I'm not too sure if you can see that properly, but that's an indication that from there upwards there's nothing left. It's just a little pool down the bottom where I think that dips in. You can see that little dip. That's where the product is sitting, but that's probably around this point. So I think it's pretty much done. And what I've decided to target to include instead is actually a foundation stick that I've had in my collection for a little while. It's a little bit too light for me, but it is a nice sort of a nice amount of coverage for a daily basis. So I thought in the cooler months, this is a nice one. I can wear this just doing my everyday shit. But it's by Lancome, and I think it's the Tint Idol stick foundation. I really like the bottle of this, and I've got a backup of it, but this shade is Beige Porcelain 010, and it's too light for me, but I have that much left of it, so I'm going to not weigh this. I'm just going to look at it visually, but if you look at it twisting it down, I've only used about that much, so yeah, I've got a little bit to go, but I think I can use this quite consistently, which is great. Then I have some big progress on some products. So this one I'm considering done as well. It's my Wet n Wild bronzer contour. Now I did use this until it was just the rim, so I'm not sure if you can see like around there how thin that is, but it was just a little rim, and now it's sort of cracked. I used the highlighter to the same point. There's a little bit down the bottom that was left, and that cracked and broke. So even though I could repress this and use it for another, I don't know, 3 or 4 applications, I don't want to do that. I find when I do that with a bronzer, especially quite a pigmented bronzer, I find that it applies quite patchy and too much anyway. So I'm actually going to just consider this done. You can see it was just that rim around the side. So I'd used so much of it. I was doing so well, and I was so excited to be like, look how much pan I've got. But because it broke just today, I figure that is done. And the product that I'm replacing that with is my Hoola bronzer by Benefit. Now, I really like this bronzer. The only reason I decided to include it is because it's one of my oldest bronzers. I think it's going on a 1.5 or 2 years now, and I figure I should focus on it. It's also a really good winter bronzer for me. This does have a bit of a dip in the pan. I'm not sure if you can see too much, but I haven't hit pan, and I would like to use all of this up. So there we go. And the empties don't stop there, guys. I also finished up my Coty Airspun powder. Now, last check-in, it was getting quite hard to get the product out, and I think that was the thing that was stopping me from using the amount that I could be using. I can use a lot of powder. I've got oily skin, but having to shake it out was a real pain. So I ended up taking off the sifter, and I ended up using it all up. And this was, yeah, pretty easy to use up when I did that. So this is done. I did weigh this to begin with, so I'm going to compare it weight-wise to my last check-in. So last check-in, it was 62.61 grams, and now it is around 57 grams. So 57 grams we know is just the packaging. So there we go. Now, of course, I'm going to include another powder, and I was looking in my powders, and a lot of them are brand new and unopened. And the one that I've had sitting for the longest that I actually don't like, and this is going to be a bit of a struggle. It's a great powder to mattify your skin, but I do find it a little bit too drying, and I don't like it under my eyes. So this one is going to be, it's going to test me. If I just don't like using it after trying, like forcing myself to use it, I will take it out at the next 3 month sort of refresh. and throw it out. But I'm going to try to use this It Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores. This is the translucent poreless finish airbrush powder. I just don't like this. On my concealer, it almost turns it a peachy color. It actually darkens my concealer, and on my face, it makes it quite matte, which is good, especially if I'm using like a dewier foundation. But I've also found that if I try to touch up with this, it almost just wipes off my makeup. It's a really strange powder. I don't love it. I don't think it increases the longevity of my foundation, so I want this gone. If you look at it, just at the bottom, I've got quite a lot left. But compared to the Coty Airspun, this was 65 grams of product. This is 6.8 grams of product. So if I can get through the Coty Airspun, which, okay, admittedly it took me like 6 months, I should be able to get through this pretty quickly. So fingers crossed. All right, the last empty is my hair product. So in my project pan, I've got a skincare product, a body care product, and a hair care product. And I've spoken about this in my like favorites and fails. I really don't like the Kevin Murphy products that I ordered a few months ago. So I'm slowly trying to work through them. And I have used up the Untangled leave-in conditioner. Now, when I first introduced it, it was up to here. Leading up to my project pan, knowing that I wanted to include this, I used quite a lot of it. And then I barely used it at the 1 month check-in. I forced myself to use it more at the 2 month check-in, and I've used it up. So this is done. This is gone. Thank God. So that's an empty. It's going to go in my empties. See you later. But to replace this, I'm slowly, once again, working through the last 2 Kevin Murphy products I have in my collection. And the one I'm now including is the Do Over Dry Powder Finishing Hairspray. Now, I don't like this product. I want to give it more of a go and then throw it out if I don't like it. The only other product I have from Kevin Murphy is a Shine Spray, which I like more than this, which is why I wanted to target this in my project pan. But this is like a dry powder hairspray that adds texture to your hair, but I find that it doesn't add enough texture, and it just adds like grossness. It adds like grime to your hair. So I don't really like this, but I'm going to give myself a good month or 2, hopefully 3, of trying to use it up. And if I can't use it up, I'm going to chuck it. My last product that I have used up, and this was very close to being used up last time, was my Philosophy. This is the Microdelivery Resurfacing Peel. So last time I barely had any scrub left. So you can see now it is completely done. This liquid isn't done. So it's a 2-phase sort of product where you put the scrub and the product together, it activates, and you use it as a chemical exfoliant and as a physical exfoliant. I really liked this part of it. This part I still have a little bit left of, not too much though, but I'm going to consider this done. Since this is a face product, I would normally introduce another face product to use up, but I have sort of started a new sort of skincare routine thing going on, so I don't want to do that. I do have another face product in this project pan, so instead I'm going to include a body product. Now the body product I quite like. This is by Eliza Vecca, and it is the Green Tea Salt Body Scrub. And I do quite like it, but I have to fight with it to get the product out. It's just too thick for the opening. The opening's too small. And to get it out, you really have to like squeeze really, really, really hard. And it takes its sweet ass time. You can see the dents in it from me like going, come on out. So even though I like the product inside, this is a kind of one that probably be better to decant into a tub oh my God, wait a second. Like this tub or this tub. I might actually keep this tub, like squeeze a lot of it out or cut it open and squeeze a lot out, and then sort of like clip it. Because that's the only way I can think of using this. I know that this tub is sort of waterproof. I don't think the Coty Airspun will be, so I might keep this, depot it and see how we go, but this is really frustrating me in the shower, so I really want to focus on this to use it up. Now onto the products that I've seen good progress on. My blush, last time I showed you I'd hit pan, and I'm hoping that pan is actually growing. So there'll be a photo on the screen of my last check-in. So what I'm going to do, since I have hit pan and my goal with this blush was not to use it up, it was just to like get a lot of use out of it and hit pan, I'm going to replace this at the 3-month mark with another one that I want to get more use out of. So this was the NARS Luster Blush, and I really love the color. It's got a nice sheen to it, but the one that I want to give more of a focus to in the next 3 months is one by MAC. So this is the one that I'm wearing right now, and it is Melba. So it's a matte blush, and I think it's a really, really beautiful peach. I love it. I really dig it for autumn, which it's currently autumn in Australia. I like the sort of more burnt orangey lips. I like sort of green eyes. Clearly I'm going green and orange sort of vibe. And peach blushes go beautifully with it. So I really, really like this. I also really like it putting it under, like almost using a topper to put on top of it, like a highlighter or a blush topper if I want to add a bit of shimmer, but it's a beautiful, beautiful colored blush. So that's the one I'm going to target. I barely have made any dip in it. I think I can see the cloth texture from when it was pressed. I can almost see that all the way along. Almost. It's a little bit worn down. So this is a barely used blush, but it's a beautiful color and I want to use more of it. Okay, a product that I've seen heaps of progress on and I'm going to continue into my next sort of part of my project pan is my Pixi Makeup Fixing Mist. This is the rose water and green tea one, and I've been loving using it. I put it under my foundation, I put it over my foundation. It was right up to the top when I first introduced it, and now it is clearly down to there. So I feel like maybe 1 or 2 months to go before I use it up and include another one. So that one, really good progress, keeping it in my project pan. Okay, these little buggers. So I included these as like my eyeshadow primer type product, even though they're not, but they're cream eyeshadow mini sticks from Laura Mercier, so they're Caviar sticks. I had one in copper and one in like Moonlight or Moonstone or Moonshine, something like that. The names have rubbed off. The Moon one, which is a cool tone one, I have used a couple of times, but not too much. So I've still got some of that to go. So you can see where it is, how much product I've got there. I should have a photo on the screen of where it was at last time, which there wasn't much progress last time. Hopefully there's more now. But the copper one I have been enjoying and I've actually used up. So you can see that I've actually dug into that a little bit. This is a really, really beautiful pencil. I would actually consider keeping this for a little bit longer, digging in, because I love putting it on the inner corner for a pop of highlight. But I'm actually going to say goodbye to this one because it means I can focus on this guy. So this was more of a gold copper, which I liked in the warmer months. This is more of a taupey color, which I really like in the cooler months. So this one's done. This one is still going. All right, even though I don't know what my progress is on this lip balm, I think there is some decent progress. So this is the Harvest Garden Peppermint Lip Balm, and I've been using it quite a lot to the point where I've got this much left. So you can see on the screen the last check-in, and I reckon I'll be used up by the next time, which is great because it's nice using lip balms up because I have so many of them and I often lose them. So actually finishing one is a great feeling. I also don't remember where this pencil was at my last check-in, but I feel like I've made some good progress. So if I show you the writing, I'll have writing down the bottom. So with the sort of caps writing, which is what I sort of used to gauge where it was up to, it says eyeliner long LAS. So that's how much I've used. You can see on the screen what I was up to last check-in. I like this pencil. I like using it in my waterline, but by using it in my waterline, I use a little bit of it. It's not fast moving, but sharpenable pencils go a lot faster than retractable ones. So I'm not going to swap this one out. It's going to stay in my project pan. Another thing that's staying in my project pan is my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Soft and Gentle. I love this. I boasted about how much I loved it last time. I've been sort of using a few other things this time, but you can still see that dent. So I am making a dent in it. I haven't yet hit pan, but you can see that that is like the top of the dome has flattened. And I don't know if you can see on the screen from last time, but yeah, I'm going to keep going until I hit pan on this. It's a beautiful highlighter. I'm not wearing it today, but I love it and I really enjoy using it. So this is staying in my project pan. All right, my fragrance that I'm tempted to swap out, but I won't, I will continue going, is my Marc Jacobs Daisy. Hopefully you can see when it settles, It's sort of below where it says Marc Jacobs. Now, I'm not too sure. I think it was just above the Daisy last time I checked in. This is a very slow going fragrance, so I'm going to keep it in my project pan. I don't love the scent of it. Especially for this time of the year, I sort of want something that's a little bit more fresh. So I have actually been wearing this but mixing it with other fragrances. So that's probably also why it's slow going, and it's quite a strong scent. So for a floral scent that is quite light, it is still very strong. Other fragrances that might be like cheaper quality or just much fresher scents, I can use a lot more of, whereas I can't use too much of this. So it's slow going, but I'm going to continue. I'm determined to use this up. All right, the concealer that I have in my project pan is my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. This is in the shade Light, which is too light for me. I still do sometimes use it, but I've also been trying to use it as an eyeshadow base. I really don't like it as an eyeshadow base. I know so many people that use it as an eyeshadow base, but eyeshadow primers actually grip eyeshadows a lot better than this, in my opinion. But I did weigh this. It is getting to the point where I might need to take the stopper out because I'm not sure if you can see, but when I do try to get the product, it sort of is almost clean in the inner portion, but it's all built up here and down the bottom. Now, to get the product down the bottom, you need a spatula. But if you want the product up the top, you just pop out the stopper in there, which I just use something like a knife to jimmy it open, like not a sharp knife, just like a butter knife. And it pops out, and then you can access that top part of product, which is probably a couple of months of use. So I'm almost to the stage where I need to do that, because you can see, look at the inside, it's like the middle part is completely clean. But I did weigh this, so I'll do a check-in. So last check-in, it was 24.45 grams, and it's now 23.37-ish. So I've used over a gram of this, and this is, I think it's a 10 ml product. So yeah, this is a 10 ml product, so using 1 gram is pretty damn good. And I think by next check-in, I'm gonna pop out the stopper and start using that product around there. So this is continuing in my project pan. All right, onto products that I don't know if I've seen much progress on. My brow pencil I've been using so much. People have been digging my dark brows, and it's simply because of this Benefit Goof Proof brow pencil in 4.5. 4.5 is probably too dark for me. I'd usually go like a 3 or a 3.5, but I sort of wanted to use this, and I think I've made good progress on it. So that is how much I have left, but I've been using it pretty much every single day. And that's staying in my project pan. Okay, onto things that I've probably seen not much progress on. My NARS, this is an eyeshadow duo in Kalahari. I love it. I've been using it not a lot, because I've spoken about this before. I do so many eyeshadow palette reviews. I did 2 this month, and they took up a total of, I think it was like 20 days of makeup wear. So on the days that I'm not wearing those products, I am wearing this. But I think last month I got a chance to maybe use it 5 or 6 times. I also used this layered over the Laura Mercier Caviar stick. They really pair beautifully. So I'll continue to use them paired. There's no real dent in there, but I have tried to use it a bit, but it's very limited with the reviews that I do, and I love doing eyeshadow reviews, so that sort of takes precedence over using things like this. But I will continue this in my project pan because I love the combo. I'm going to love it for winter and the cooler months, and then I think once it gets to spring, if I don't have much progress on it, I might take it out, but who knows. Okay, so last time I decided that with my Colourpop gel liner, I wasn't going to focus on the weight too much, because to use this, I have to rehydrate it with Duraline. That adds weight to it, so you can't really see the progress. So I have been trying to work towards I don't know if you can see, hang on. I don't know if you can see, I've been trying to work towards the side. So you can see the pan there, and there's sort of like a line going towards the side. I've been wanting to work towards the side and work away that side. So that's what it looks like. But there's probably not too much of visual progress, but I will continue to use this. But, you know, it hasn't been my main liner, so it hasn't had too much love. But I will continue to use this, because if I don't use it by the end of the year, I'm throwing it out. Okay, my skincare item was this Lulu Lun. They were masks, sheet masks, And I think there were, was it 36 in this? I think there was 36 in this. And look, I don't know if you can see the progress. They sort of look like a tissue box. I'll have on the screen, maybe up here somewhere, I'll have a screen of where they're up to last time. I probably used this maybe 6 times, maybe more. Somewhere between 5 and 10 times I've used these. So it's slow going. I'm just not in the habit of using sort of sheet masks, but I want to use this up before they dry out. So I will continue to use this in my project pan. Before I get on to the things that I need to weigh to show you the progress, I am going to be taking out my clear lip liner by Pixi. Now, the reason I'm doing that is because I have not used this in the last month. I think I didn't use it the month before. I just don't use clear lip liners. Lipsticks don't really, bleed on me, so I don't really need them. And I don't want to replace it with a lip liner because I don't really use lip liners. And I only have a couple. I only have maybe, not a couple, but I probably have like 10 of them, but they're all different colors. There's a couple of berries, there's like 2 nudes. So I really don't see the necessity for me to pan a lip liner. So I'm actually removing this one and not putting in a different one to replace it. For lip gloss, I want to see the progress on my Colourpop. This is Ultra Glossy Lip in Fairy Floss. I have been using this mainly in the last week or so. I'm like, shit, project pan check-in's coming up. So last check-in, this was at 25.47 grams, and I've used not much, like a fraction of a gram again. So it's at 25.08. So I'm definitely going to continue to use it and try to use it more. I found that if I put it, this used to be in my handbag, and I find that if I have it next to my computer, I reach for it more, so that's where it's going to live. Then I have the 3D brow tones from Benefit. This is in the shade 2, and this was sort of like my brow setting sort of product. This was at 19.63 grams. It is now at 19.07. Now, the issue that I have with this product, and the reason why I think I'm going to take it out, is because for me to put a light brow product on my brows, I have to use the smallest amount. So it adds dimension, so it sort of like highlights individual hairs. But if I want to use it up, I have to use it quite heavy, and then it looks kind of silly. So I'm actually going to take this out, and instead I'm going to include the shade number 4. So the original 2 that they released was 2 and 4, and they've since released colored ones. But I'm going to work on the shade number 4 instead, which is more of a darker brown. I've put it in my brows today, and I feel like I can use this a little bit more heavy-handed without it looking kind of silly. So I've swapped them out. All right, onto my nail product. This is a C&D Rescue RX Daily Keratin Treatment. I explained last time I don't use this daily. I use it in between the times I do my nail polish. So if I've taken off my nail polish, I might use it a couple of times. So it's only really used like maybe once a week. So that was at 52.75 grams. Now it's at 52.4. So I have used it quite a few times, but just it's a slow moving product, and I'm going to keep it in my project pan. The last thing I'm going to take out is this guy here. It's a burgundy mascara by L'Oreal, and it's a really, really beautiful mascara. I just find that I have been forgetting to reach for it. And I think having the pressure of forcing myself to use it up, I feel really bad. So I haven't used this much in the last month. I think I've maybe used it once or twice. Lately, I've been using quite bold eye looks, and mascara, burgundy mascara just doesn't sort of work on bold eye looks. You need like black to really show the lashes. So this is more for a no makeup day for me, and even though I will continue to use it in that way, I want to use it without the pressure. So I'm taking this out along with the lip liner, and even though I do use mascara all the time, I am not going to include a new one just because I've got a sample that I've just opened and a new mascara that I've just opened, so I don't feel the need to use up a mascara besides this one, but I'd prefer to do it at my own leisure. All right, so that was a massive update. It's a big change to my project pan. I've used up a heap of products and I've swapped them out for other things. And then I've also taken out the lip liner and the mascara, not to be replaced just yet with anything else. And I've also swapped out the 3D brow tones from shade 2 to shade 4. So there's stuff going on. It's going to be a brand new sort of fun makeup refresh. Some old stuff is staying in there, but I'm excited to see how these products go. Some of the products I think should go pretty well, like the stick foundation. Hopefully that will be used up pretty quickly. So hopefully we'll start seeing some decent progress over the next month as well. So if you liked that check-in, give it a thumbs up. If you missed the last one or you want to see other ones, I do have a playlist that will hopefully be on the screen, and I'll link down in the description box as well, so you can see my past Project Pan check-ins. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.